The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Jeff Dudas from underwatertimes.com.
Over in Miami he is. Jeff Dudas, good morning. Hello and welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Wammo?
Good, very good. Of course, good afternoon your time. Just clicked into daylight savings, so things must be warming up there. Looking forward to a good summer, no doubt.
It's quite nice here.
Yeah. No doubt that Miami's pretty good all year round, though, isn't it?
Pretty much so. We're in the dry season, so it's fairly warm and very nice.
Okay. Well, often when we chat, we talk about deep diving records that people set, but this one is quite the opposite, Jeff.
Yes, it's just there's a guy out there called he's known as Professor Splash. His name is Darren Taylor. He's an American, and he goes around the world and does these high dives into shallow pools. He's known as he's the world's greatest and most decorated shallow water diver. And he dives, he gets up on a real tall platform and jumps into a little like child's pool with, in this case, his latest record. He jumped from 36 feet into 12 inches of water. Did it successfully.
Holy crap! That's amazing.
It is. He set a new world record. So he has this special technique, and he did this in Trondheim, Norway. And he says what he wants to do. He wants to go to a real cold place, so the water is just above freezing. So it's very dense. So it's he won't go through the water so quickly, so he'll hit it. And he does this big swan dive. So he spreads out his body and just splats, right in the middle of this little pool, and he survives.
It's got to hurt.
You would think. Hopefully, he has maybe like a skin on or something, neoprene or something to absorb a little bit of that pressure. But they said the bottom of the pool cannot be inflated, so he's water and just sort of flat plastic on the bottom, and that's it.
Great. It sounds like one of those old circus tricks, doesn't it?
Evidently, but this guy, he's been doing this forever. I think 25 years, and he holds 13 Guinness Book World Records.
Yeah.
So he's survived.
Brilliant. All right, next story. A seal who's been entertaining.
This is out of Dublin, Ireland. There's this special place where you go and feed the seals on the harbor, and you buy like a bucket of fish and throw it to the seals, and the seals do what seals do, and eat them up. Well, this one seal has figured out that if he picks his arm out of the water and waves like the tourists are waving at him, he actually gets more fish.
Huh.
So, and if you look, there's a picture of it, and you look at it, and there's one seal with his flipper up, and the other seals are just kind of, with their head out of the water, and the tourists just love him. So they throw him fish all day long, and he's getting, really big, and the other seals are getting kind of jealous. They come over and bite him on the head because this one guy only gets the fish.
Well, they need to learn to wave.
Oh, well, that was the thing, sort of like an evolution. This seal has figured something out to imitate the humans who are waving at him, so he's pretty darn smart.
There you go, absolutely. Well, finally, perhaps this turtle is very smart as well. He may indeed become a legendary turtle.
He's already legendary. This is, imagine this, the very symbol of your country, of its revolution and independence. Imagine if he was sort of old and sick and dying, and you didn't know what to do. That's what's going on in Vietnam, and the subject, of course, is a giant soft-shelled turtle who lives in a pond in the middle of Hanoi. So it's like one of these city ponds, and evidently this pond is like really dirty and has like junk thrown in it. And this turtle who's gotten sick has like cuts on him.
Oh.
And it's a sad story. And so everyone's sort of scratching their head. What do you do? Do you take the turtle out of the water? It lives in the water. Then what kind of treatment do you perform on it? And so they're calling in experts from all over the world, trying to figure out what to do with this turtle and to make sure he lives. They say he might be 80 to 100 years old.
Wow.
Some people say he might be 300 years old. It's a very rare turtle. They say there's only 4 of them left in the world. And one of them, again, is the national symbol of the country.
So if he became a national treasure, I guess they'd find him a nice new home or something.
Well, you would think so. They're supposedly cleaning up this pond, at least taking the trash and trying to make it a little more hospitable for the turtle. I'm not sure why they weren't doing that before, but so now they're giving him a serious eye and hopefully some treatment, so he'll keep on living.
I take it he's captive, really, isn't he? He can't just sort of leave on his own free will. back
Oh,
up.
right.
Yeah.
It's a pond in the middle of Hanoi, and it's I saw pictures of it. There's like traffic going by it, so it's like around the edges. It's sealed off with concrete and a fence.
Essentially, Vietnam's oldest prisoner, I suppose.
Well, there you go.
That's one way of looking at it.
I was thinking about this, how he survived the war and such, but
Yeah.
evidently he was taken care of. But,
Yeah. Well, he's got a hard shell, you know.
He's a soft shell turtle. So
Oh,
that didn't
right.
even work.
Of course.
So, but he's very big too. That's the other thing. People
Yeah.
like line up around this pond all day long just to wait for him to see his pop his head up. So
Yeah.
he's very popular, but unfortunately very
Bet
special.
he's cantankerous. He said, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks very much, Jeff. Cheers for that.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Those stories and more you'll find up at underwatertimes.com.